All right, it's been a hot minute since we've been on here at all to do a podcast. This isn't going to be our normal podcast where we're talking about...
We have constructed something new.
Those are podcast beers. So, we're not going to talk about stuff that we have done or what we've been up to lately. This one is going to be kind of like a mini-series that we're doing, where it's going to be updates to hunting laws in the state of Pennsylvania, hunting news in PA, and out-of-state hunting news as well.
The original podcast is still a thing also.
Yeah, so this is just going to be a mini-series that we're going to call...
name is under construction. We have not decided on a name yet. So if you have suggestions for a name, let us know.
Yeah, it's kind of just like a news and updates. And if you want to let us know, obviously you can find our socials. We're on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, all Half Rack Productions. But, so what do we want to talk about first?
You pick.
Okay, so I guess the thing that really I want to talk about mainly and cover, which it honestly kind of irks me the way they've been doing it. The whole tag sale ordeal in Pennsylvania, they've changed it, and they're like, some people like it, some people don't like it. Personally, I don't like it. I don't do it the way they've done it now. I've still done it the old way where I go to the store. But they are doing online sales now. So you, instead of going to, say, your local sporting goods store or Walmart or your hardware, or wherever you get your tags and licenses at, you don't have to go there. You can get on your computer or your phone and get on the Game Commission's website and order your tags through there instead of having to do it in person. People I've talked to don't like it, that have done it. My uncle got his license 2 weeks ago at the same time I did because we hunt in Management Unit 2G, and it's one of the biggest in the States, and they have one of the fewest number of doe tags available. So there's only 37 doe tags in that area or something like that, and it's the biggest management unit in the state, so it goes really fast.
37?
37,000.
Yeah.
But they go really fast, so you kind of got to be on the ball if you want to get one for there, because we didn't get one last year. But anyway, he did his online this year.
Last year was 35,000.
Does it show 37 for this year?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought that was right. So he did his online this year instead of going to the store, and the sales didn't start till 8 o'clock, so he had the website opened up, all his info filled out. All he had to do was press start or whatever you got to press to get on. He pressed it as soon as it opened at 8 o'clock on the 2nd, and he was number 14,000 in line. So even when you're sitting there prepared and ready to go, that way as soon as it opens you can get started right away, you're still way back. You figure there was 14,000 people ahead of him in line waiting to get a tag. And it's just been like a little bit of a fiasco, because the way that, like, with people getting online and doing it, and then the people in the stores that are selling them doing it too, it's been crashing the system like hell. It's basically gone to hell in a handbasket. So luckily I was at my local hardware at 7:45, 7:30, ready to in line waiting. I was the second one in line to get mine, so I got mine relatively quickly. But
I know I didn't get my tags online this year. When I did it last year, you're timed. Like, you only have a couple minutes to get all the tags you need, or all the tags you want. And to fill everything out. Like, you have a time limit, and if you pass the time limit, you get kicked out of the queue, and then you have to restart the whole thing.
Yeah, and that's another thing that doesn't make any sense either. Like, I can understand putting time restrictions on it not to flood so they're not really flooding the website and it's crashing out, but at the same time, you got people that still aren't 100% sure of what all they want, and they're trying to look and see and decide what they're getting, and then they get kicked out because they're taking too long. It's just one big fiasco. And the other thing is, I mean, they did up it by 2,000 tags for 2G this year, but
2D went from 86,000 last year to 102,000 this year.
Yeah. So I guess
2G's like probably double the size of 2D.
Yeah, you can fit two 2Ds in a 2G, which 2G is all big woods, and there's not really many farms out there where the deer are all in tight areas and there's an abundant number of them. But it's just, I don't know, it's just a fiasco. They're kind of doing everything ass backwards, and honestly, to me, they're starting to drive it into the ground and causing people to lose interest in it because they just don't want to have to deal with the headaches of getting the license. But and in today's world with all the technology, they won't go back to how it used to be either. So we're just kind of stuck with it and have to deal with it unless, say, 60% of all hunters in PA bitch and throw a fit about it and force them to change it to where they're not selling tags and they're losing millions upon millions of dollars. And the prices of them too. The prices of hunting licenses are ridiculous. Like usually I get my pheasant stamp every year and I didn't get it this year because it was $26 for just your pheasant permit. If I would have gotten that, my license total would have been $98 for a resident. But that's my whole ordeal with the new tagging system, the way they have it. Not a fan of it. Lots of people aren't fans of it. Some are. I mean, I don't blame you if you're a fan of it. Obviously, if you're at work and you can't go to a store to get them, good for you getting them online. But
then you're a nerd. Take the day off.
But those of us that can leave work or show up late if we had to, that do go to the store, it just, I don't know. It's a fiasco, like I said.
They also made a bunch of changes. Well, they didn't make a bunch. They also made changes to, they made changes to different limits and when stuff starts, and changes to the season dates. Like October muzzleloader for bears now 3 days instead of 4, and their justification for that is to reduce harvest rates on the female black bear population in hopes to promote the bear population. Because I don't know how many of you are bear hunters, but at least in 2G there's probably about none.
They're there, but the thing with 2G, at least where we hunt out at my camp, we're up in the Coahana Wild area, so it's all big timber and it's thick and there's lots of laurel. They're there, they're just really hard to find, and they're getting smarter. They're not screwing up and coming out in the open near as much, which
it's about what happened with our deer last year.
I could understand them shortening the season for bear rifle. Muzzleloader doesn't really make sense because there's not a whole pile of bears that gets killed with a flintlock anyhow, or inline, whatever you're using for muzzleloader hunting with bear, because you can use either or then. Because you figure with them, you got to have them at least inline. You could have them 75 to 80, but flintlock, you got to have them 30 to 35 yards, 40 yards maybe at most to have a clean shot on them and a lethal shot.
I don't hunt with flintlock or muzzleloader.
Yeah, but I don't know. There's things that the state has been doing and the Game Commission as an agency in a whole that just makes me question their decisions and who's in charge.
And then in 4A, 4D, and 5A, they've extended the firearm season for doe, which will be from January 2nd to the 20th of January. And it'll run at the same time as the last 2 weeks of flintlock and late archery season within 4A, 4D, and 5A. Their justifications for wanting to do that was CWD, or chronic wasting disease, is super prominent in those management units, and they're hoping that extending these seasons is going to allow the Game Commission to meet their harvesting needs for those management units, because no one wants CWD.
Yeah, so what were the management units that got the extended rifle? 4A,
4A, 4D, and 5A. So 5A's, 4A, and 4. It's south central PA.
Yeah.
So like Harrisburg's down there.
Yeah, which 4D, that is central Pennsylvania there. So my guess is that's around Altoona and State College, which I can understand there. And then obviously 5A being around...
That's like Harrisburg.
Harrisburg being around the cities, I can understand that. But
4A, I don't know where that would...
4A doesn't really make any sense. Let me pull up the Pennsylvania state map, because I'm trying to think if there's any major cities down there.
Well, I don't think so. But while he's doing that...
Unless they got an insanely high population there.
So, click that one.
Come on, laptop. Today, please.
Well,
so that's like Bedford, Chambersburg
yeah,
area.
No, it'd be Bedford, Somerset area. That's about 4A, because that
Racetown Lake, because I think
that
it goes
would
up
be.
into there.
No, go back to the other one, or you don't have it up.
Yeah. So yeah,
4D's like Altoona, Tyrone, State College.
And 5A.
Or 5A's like Gettysburg,
Harrisburg,
Chambersburg, maybe the southern part of Harrisburg, And then four A's like Bedford, Somerset, and then up 90 a little bit.
Yeah, so I mean, I can understand why they'd up it there, because my guess is being a bunch of residential areas, there probably isn't an overabundance of deer, and they do need to get rid of some.
That and deer probably, especially with CWD, they're probably starting to come into people's house, and well, not coming into their house, but they're coming into their yards, and just becoming not what a deer should be acting like.
Yeah, and if you ask me, if they're, like I said, I can understand it for them areas, but if you're going to add a whole month of rifle season, essentially, for those 3 management units, at least add another couple days to either archery season, late archery, or even just a general rifle season for the rest of the state.
Their extended rifle season for doe falls almost right in line with late archery the last 2 weeks.
It does.
And late archery is not very long.
It's 2 weeks.
Okay, so it falls in line with the whole 2 weeks of late archery and flintlock.
Yeah. Actually, that might even start after late archery, because I think late archery starts shortly after Christmas.
Yeah, I didn't think it started in January.
No.
They might have changed it, too. Yeah. They changed a bunch of stuff.
I haven't really looked at the season changes at all.
For wild turkey, the fall turkey is going to be lengthened in 11 different management units and in 5A, which 5A used to be closed to fall hunting, and it will be open for a 3-day season.
And they're shortening
And then
the
they
length.
shortened it in 3D and 4C.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. And then for fur bearers in 2D, which is the one that we pretty much hunt the most, but we don't trap yet, or if we ever will, who knows.
Yeah.
But it'll be open to bobcat hunting and trapping, and the fisher trapping season will be increased by 1 week in every PA management unit.
Open to fisher harvest.
This will allow it's going to allow concurrent fisher and bobcat trapping seasons.
And if pheasant hunting within the central Susquehanna Wild Pheasant Recovery Area, the WPRA, is open again, it will be open to all hunters. Potential season dates and bag limits will be determined later this year following data collection within the WPRA.
And then I looked into that. I just did research on it. I can't find if they approved hunting in there again, or if they started figuring out bag limits or not. There's nothing. I can't figure out anything in there.
Yeah. And then they've added, 91,000 tags?
Yeah, so last year in PA they had 1,095,000 licenses
for antlerless.
This year for antlerless. This year it's 1,186,000. So they've gone up quite a bit. I'm not doing math.
It was 91,000. So yeah, they've added 91,000 doe tags for the entire state this year.
They did 140 elk. They did 65 antlered and 75 antlerless for the whole season.
Yeah, which the increased number in doe tags I do agree with, because for a while there they were discussing, because of all the chronic wasting disease, or CWD, that's going around and infecting these large deer herds now. They were talking like February and March, when the season's not in, go with sharpshooters and find the ones that have the CWD and shoot them off, and just not do anything with the bodies, but bury them or burn them, whatever. Last I had heard, just a rumor going around, which I had heard several people talking about it. But letting the hunters themselves kill off more deer to help with that, I think, is a lot better than the Game Commission themselves going around with sharpshooters doing it and not doing anything with the deer.
And I don't, off the top of my head, remember what the dates for turkey was last year. But for this year, in 1A, 2G, 3A, 4A, 4B, and 4D, it's November 2nd to the 16th. In 1B, 3D, 4C, and 4E, it's November 2nd to the 9th. In 2A, 2F, 3B, and 3C, it's November 2nd to the 16th and November 27th through the 29th. And then I'm pretty sure and then in 2B, 2C, 2D, and 2E, I'm pretty sure it's the same as last year. It's November 2nd to the 22nd and then the 27th to the 29th. Pretty sure that's what it was last year.
Yeah, I can't remember.
So.
I didn't hunt fall turkey at all last year.
Neither did I, because actually,
I'm just not a real big turkey person.
I don't remember if that was, because I know that's rifle season.
Wait, what?
November 2nd to the 22nd?
No.
When's Thanksgiving?
24th, isn't it? because rifle season always started on my mom's birthday weekend, which is November 27th. So the 28th is Thanksgiving this year. So the 30th, November 30th, would be the first day of rifle this year.
So the day after turkey's closed. Oh no, that is right, because what was it, like 2 years ago, 4 years ago, when the first time we all three went?
Yes.
We went, and it was
Halloween.
Yeah, and then that's what, yeah, because it used to open in October.
Yeah, because that day we went, it was Halloween morning.
And it was
all moon.
Messed up. It was all messed. We shouldn't even have went.
Yeah, Halloween morning with a full moon and a thick fog. It was kind of eerie, to say the least.
Yeah, and
being
then
in the woods that morning.
5A and 5B is the 2nd to the 5th of November, and that's it. And then 5C and 5D are closed to fall turkey. So get bent if you hunt there.
Yeah, but I think that pretty well covers everything we really wanted to talk about within the state. I do have an article here for out of state, just kind of an interesting little news clip once I get it pulled up here.
Oh, what? Oh, no, that's archery. Never mind.
So this one is out of Michigan.
Archery opens the 5th, October 5th to November 16th. And then Sunday, November 17th. And then the 18th to the 22nd of November. And then December 26th to January 20th, 2025. One antlered deer per license. Duh, obviously. One antlerless deer with each required antlerless license. Duh. That's kind of,
Well, you can get more than one doe tag.
Deer, yeah, November 30th is when it opens. And then Sunday, December... So the opening day for rifle this year is November 30th. And then it goes to the December 1st. It goes December 1st, and then the December 2nd to the 14th. So that's about it. That's about all they changed. Coyote still has no closed season, no limit.
So, this article that I found, it's out of Michigan. Michigan officials propose new hunting regulations as residents grapple with deer overpopulation. The Department of Natural Resources to vote on changes to deer hunting mandates in Michigan. So, let's see here. So the proposals reportedly include addressing the ability to use drones to help aid in deer recovery, expand early and late antlerless seasons to public land, and expand the hunter access program to provide more hunting opportunities. State officials have estimated there are now upwards of 2 million deer in Michigan, according to WEMU, a local radio station based in Michigan. So Michigan, if their estimates are correct, they're up 900,000 deer compared to Pennsylvania. Or not 500,000, because 2022, it's the state estimated for PA, there's 1.5 million deer. So it says here, when seeds come up out of the ground, they start nibbling on them, especially soybeans. They love the soybeans. Then, when the deer get big and the corn is ripe, just before we pick it, they're coming around eating like 4 rows. This local farmer had stated. We've got to get these deer killed off from here because it's not our responsibility to have to feed the deer. Let's see here. Is there anything else? So they did a survey that said 40.75% believe deer hunting opportunities were very important. The DNR will vote on the proposed changes to hunting regulations on July 11th, officials at the DNR told Fox News Digital. A drop-off in the number of hunters, issues with predators, and changing weather patterns, among other challenges, have been blamed for the inability to manage Michigan's deer population. Which I can definitely see, and that's the end of the article there, but the amount of young kids getting into hunting nowadays has dropped dramatically in the past 20 years compared to what it used to be. There's just not like
and there's video games now.
Yeah, they kids don't want to get off the couch and go out and do stuff and just be in the woods.
It's not even hunting. Any outdoor activity
Yeah.
is dwindling compared to what it was.
Yeah, they just
30 years ago.
They just don't want to get out in the woods and go explore. Like we're both 22 now, and I'd say our age group from 19 to 22 age range for today is kind of like the last big age group that is still big into hunting. Like, I have a younger brother that's 17, and he is starting to lose interest in it year by year. Like, he said this, like, once he starts college, he doesn't know if he'll hunt again afterwards, which, with him, I can understand because he's big into sports and stuff right now, but there's just not as many people getting into it, and all the older generations are starting to die off, so between the older generation dying off and young kids not getting into it, the number of hunters is shrinking dramatically, and that's just definitely contributing to overpopulation. But I think that's all we wanted to talk about in this episode, so make sure you stay tuned into this little mini-series here if you want to hear all the news and updates in the hunting world in Pennsylvania, and even there'll be times we'll do out-of-country topics and stuff like that with it, and news.
Yes, there is. There's a guide outfit in Mexico that specializes in ocellated or whatever the hell that turkey's called. The one that looks like a peacock.
Not Merriam's or out west. Not Rio Grande.
No, it starts with an O.
I know which one you're talking about.
It's like an ocellated turkey. Yeah, ocellated turkey. These things. Look at these.
Oh, jeez. That's supposed to be some sort of crossbreed?
I don't know, but they're like in Mexico.
Yeah, so if you're listening, look that up. Look up an ocellated turkey. Go up and scroll up. It's spelled
Ocellated, turkey. It has a blue head, a weird little bump, and it's like the coolest looking wild bird I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it must be some sort of crossbreed because there's only 5 wild turkey breeds. There's the Eastern wild turkey. Never mind, it's right here.
And
this is the Osceola turkey.
Yeah.
These ones are only found in Florida, though.
No, that is not it. Look at the tail.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. That's got to be a crossbreed because it's not in the wild turkey family. So there's the Osceola turkey, the Rio Grande, which is Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, and western states. Mexico also has a big population.
Look up native Mexico turkey.
Merriam's, which is out west.
I want to shoot a Merriam, too.
And Gold's turkey, which is Arizona, New Mexico, and the Sierra Madres of Mexico.
And then our turkey.
Yes.
Yeah. I was like bored scrolling through Instagram one night. I can't remember what the outfit's called, but I found them. And it kind of became one of the hunts I want to do now. Because these things look like they're a breed between a peacock and a turkey. And
yeah, it's
sweet.
definitely a freaky looking bird.
But yeah, and if you guys know of any, or if you guys know of any stuff that's changed in any of the 50 states, hunting laws or hunting rules, or some wild stuff that's happened
that you would like us to cover, but don't have your own way of getting it out there to people, let us know, and we can discuss it and do some research on it.
Figure out the best way for us to talk about it. But I think that is about all that we have for you tonight.
Yeah, so make sure to tell your friends to listen in and let them know about us and help us grow our brand, and we'll see you out there in the woods.